are you, sir?
What is going on? How are you?
What is going on? That's that broadcaster. What is going on? How are we doing today?
What is going on, man?
Coming to you live from
Studio 1A. Good morning, everybody out there. We got some people in the chat already. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Let's see what's going on. Good morning, all. So next, anyone know of any new promising? What is that? Hold on, someone. Anyone know of anyone new promising projects up and coming? Yes, we do. Great. We'll talk about it. It's a new layer one.
New layer one coming out.
Yeah.
There's a lot of interesting plays too. We'll get into it later on in the stream. Austin, I've got two in the top 100. Not a lot of people are talking about that have some big news today. So we can dive into that at some point later on too. So two cryptos that I think often get overlooked and underrepresented. And I think they look really, really good here in the next few months. So,
see, that's Zach. Always prepared. Always bringing his A game. You know, always bringing his A game. Ecobella, that's a great name. Ecobella, much Shiba swap bone. Do we need to be a millionaire? Yeah, we can talk about that. I mean, we're going to talk about all things XRP, Shiba INU, you name it, kind of a state of the union of the crypto, all that kind of stuff. So let's do this thing. So let me go ahead and Zach, if you want to share your screen or get you a screen ready, and then I'll kind of switch over to the, like I said, the State of the Union. That's what we were mentioning right here. This is great. There's a link in the description below if you want to check it out. They're a new layer one. We'll get back into this, but somebody was asking about new projects. This is one that we work with a lot. Sponsored, they sponsored the channel a lot, all that kind of stuff. So real quickly, this is kind of the State of the Union of crypto. And Zach, I want to focus on this number and kind of set the stage. We've got this scenario playing out here, right? This kind of oscillation down 1%, up 0.3, down 0.6. And, we had the groundbreaking Ripple SEC thing go down Thursday and Friday of last week. We all know what happened. And then we were flat/red over the weekend. Was that surprising to you? Did you kind of feel like we might have some green territory? And why are you thinking? So there's two questions, that, and why are you thinking kind of we're in the red? What's your 2 cents on where we're at?
Yeah, I think this is a good correction. I really do. And that might be unpopular. And I know a lot of people, I think first instinct is, oh my gosh, Bitcoin's down back below 30,000. Are we just kind of falling back into that old that old place where we were before the run? But I found another article, and I've got it up here if you want to share it.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you share the screen. Here you go.
And I made a video about this too, and I talk more in detail about this in the video. But Michael Van de Pope, I know you've heard that name before. He's a really, really good analyst, and he had some great things to say about kind of where we are today as we're waking up. So to quickly highlight it, basically, when I read this, I was like, this is kind of exactly how this is playing out, right? So he says right here, we could sweep some lows, hit 29.5, drop further, even down to 29K. But he thinks this is all just gearing up for a bigger rally. We need a little bit of a correction, let some people shake out, and some big money could be coming in. So he says right here, he thinks that we could break out first to about 32.5.
Sorry.
Price.
Go ahead.
And then that could be followed by a rally to 34K, which then could be preceded to a rally of 38K. And Michael Van de Pope's not one to give crazy price predictions, right?
So he's not does he get into time frames there, Zach, at all per se? I mean, I know
it's more about kind of sweeping these lows, price points. Yeah. So right now, I think we're at 29.7 right before we came on stream here with Bitcoin. He thinks we can go down all the way down to 29K. And basically what he's saying here, as long as we kind of come off that bottom, start to come up, it's forming a nice head and shoulders pattern. And that's another trader here, trader Tardigrade, who more recently noted Bitcoin was forming an inverse head and shoulders pattern on its 15-minute chart, stating the target for this pattern breakout was 31K. So two different crypto analysts out there. One, Michael Van de Pope, who I really respect, basically saying, hey, not to worry. This is a kind of a healthy correction, and this could be kind of exactly what we need before we take that next major step up.
Okay, so with what you just said, now go back to the second part of my question, right? The SEC at Ripple, we had the massive lead up. I mean, we all know what happened. And were you surprised about the fact that we didn't really stay in the green territory running into the weekend? Or was it more like a breath of like, okay, we get to excel, excel that breath that we've all been holding for, whatever, a year plus. And everybody's like, okay, that's behind us. What's your 2 cents on that?
I thought we'd get another burst with XRP just kind of running on its own. I did. We are seeing XRP up today, kind of out of nowhere. I think it's up, like, it's only 3%, but everything else is down. I think XRP was one of the cryptos that were up.
Right. It's up 2.86% right now. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think at any time it could make a run. I think it is surprising that, we didn't see another kind of test up there at like 94, 95, 96 cents. But I think it's only a matter of time. And especially if, Michael Van De Pope's breakout with Bitcoin predictions come true, I think XRP is going to be the biggest winner in this. And I think we're going to see $1.30, $1.40, $1.50 if Bitcoin's running that hot, even if it gets to 34, 35K. So I am surprised a little bit. I thought there'd be a little bit more FOMO going on, but we've been talking about this, Austin. I think the retail money, it's still just kind of on the sidelines a little bit.
Yeah.
So a lot of this push, I think, was some retail, obviously, but a lot of it was institutions. And I think they've got their position now, and we're kind of waiting for, the Jimmies and Joes of the world to come in and get that retail money in too.
So yeah, I mean, I think.
What do you think? I mean, do you agree with that, or?
No, I agree. I think that if you look at how it went down, the XRP decision came down about 9-ish, 10-ish Dallas time on Thursday. Effectively North America was locked out of that move because the fact is that it was not easy to buy XRP on Thursday and into Friday. We know Coinbase relisted it, but that was hours and hours into that process. And so I guess I'm saying that in the context that I think we forget that. I think that that major massive run up was people that had access to Uphold and and again other parts of the world, right? And I think so. I'm bringing that back around to your point that I think the retail money fundamentally, and not just XRP, I think everything, the retail money is still sitting on the sidelines. The retail money is still scared money. Period.
I agree.
It's still scared.
And honestly, I agree with you 100%. I think a lot of the retail money, and let's just call them like retail investors, I just think they've checked out. Yeah. A lot of them have checked out mentally with all of the tough months and really the tough year and a half that we just went through. A lot of them are just drained and they're not paying attention right now.
Yeah, I think to put a fine point on this, that's what I wanted to see over the weekend, and we didn't see. We didn't see retail money going, I can get it. I can get XRP on Coinbase. Oh, okay. Yeah. I want to go, load some Shiba Inu. Oh, I want to go, blah, blah, blah. We didn't see that over the weekend. We saw this consolidation, this cooling. Is that a major concern for me? No, it's just, I wanted to see that. Right. But I think the problem is that we still have this underlying sense of fear and uncertainty that's pervasive across all of crypto. And I am probably like you, I am really tired of talking about that, but that's what it is. You and I have been talking about inflation and fear and uncertainty since the beginning of 22, excuse me, the beginning 100%. Of 22.
And let's talk about inflation a little bit. I mean, because it is getting better. And I think that will kind of slowly but surely, number one, just give people more capital, give people more willingness, more money in their pockets to go ahead and look at alternative assets, look at investing as an option. So I think as inflation starts to cool, which the data is showing all of that, more and more people are going to have more money in their pockets, and they're going to start to look toward crypto. They're going to start to look toward the stock market again. And I want to say this too, Austin, we're kind of getting into that back half of the year, right, where we've seen things really turn for us in a good way. Mm-hmm. Except last year. Last year was an outlier. We had a lot of negative things working against us.
We had FTX and all that bullshit.
Exactly. Black swan events we can't control. Otherwise, we might have saw a boost last year. Because what happened when we turned the page this year? It was kind of a delayed reaction, but Q1 was amazing. Yeah. Right? We came from 15K Bitcoin, and I mean, look where we're at now. Yeah. But everybody's kind of, I think, gearing up for the back half of this year. Inflation data is getting better and better. Recession fears are getting less and less, I think, right? I mean, I think that's the temperature in the room. And like you say all the time, make money in May, go away. I think some of that money starts coming back after the summer months, and people are starting to look at, what they can do to better their lives later in that year. And Q4 seems to be a nice place to do it for crypto. So I think we're just gearing up. I think it's the calm before the storm, and it's a good storm coming. I really do.
I agree. The only cautious optimism rebuttal comment I have is that ultimately it comes back to confidence. It ultimately comes back to the person that, that person on the street who has some extra money, and are they going to put money into crypto times millions of people, right? And I think, and the issue I have with that, and not an issue, is that you still have this narrative out there, not a crypto narrative, what is going on in the overall, stock market, commercial market, and what the mainstream media narrative is out there. Because I think that's a big part of it, is that's the fear driven part of it, is the people that, is that in that context. Now, with that said, all of that goes away, or all that's irrelevant if BlackRock gets their Bitcoin ETF, if we get any from the door to just institutional money that is being, that you and I've talked about all the time, right? So the first part of my comment was the person who's sitting there with a Coinbase account going, should I buy XRP or should I buy Shiba Inu? That's one set. And there's millions of those. But then there's the other people who are sitting there behind the JP Morgans, the Fidelities, the Schwabs, the BlackRocks going, I keep hearing about this crypto thing. Oh, we got this Bitcoin ETF. I'll go over there and do some of that. That's a completely different set, right? And I think that whole set is trillions of dollars globally. That will change the equation. And we know those Bitcoin ETFs are coming. It's just a function of when. Anyway.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And I think the Bitcoin ETF story is one of those stories that can quickly change a lot of opinions, quickly change everything for the better. We've got XRP narratives like that too. I'm sure you covered this yesterday or saw it in terms of some of the banks out there that could be using the ODL, the on-demand liquidity. And I think some people are referencing that in the comment section. That's another thing. I mean, that's one of those snap your finger events that changes everything. And I could pull that up here. Actually, I sent a tweet about it yesterday. So here, let me break this down real quick or find it. I don't think I tweeted a lot, so it should be.
You didn't tweet your normal 45 tweets yesterday?
No, it should be right here. And Gensler, I don't know if you saw this yesterday too. Gensler.
No, I had some other stuff going on. What did Gensler say? I didn't. What?
Basically, that this thing's not over, and they're gonna fight.
Blah blah blah.
Right. Yeah. I mean, this kind of sums it up. While we're disappointed on what they said about retail investors, we're still looking at it and assessing that. So yeah. Okay. But this right here, this is one of those positive catalysts, guys. At any moment, check this out. 4,096 commercial banks, 576 savings and loan associations holding an astonishing 23.7 trillion combined assets could be set to revolutionize cross-border settlements via Ripple, ODL. Now, they might not all go with Ripple, but they don't need to. I mean, think about if half of them decide to go here. I mean, basically it comes back to the point of like why Ripple was a good investment in the first place. It's like you can't like deny the tech. Like it's better than the current system that we've archaically used for decades. So if some of these things start to materialize, to your point, the ETF, how about the new exchange that's coming too? That's going to bring tons of people in.
Yeah.
This right here with Ripple, you look inside Shiba Inu, they have Catalyst lining up, right? They have Shibarium. They have some things unlocking with their metaverse. I mean, so there's a lot of positive catalyst that are just kind of waiting in the wings. That's why I really like this back half of the year, which tends to be a good time for crypto anyway. I think the stars could be aligning, said another way, for us here to really get out of the woods and start moving back up.
On final note, and then we'll downshift into some Shiba Inu stuff. On final note of this, and something that you and I covered a lot on our live stream last Thursday, the 6-hour live stream, which is insane, is that if you look out there, there is not a major catastrophic macro event outside of Russian nuking somebody, let's call it what it is, that is out there from in the financial world. Yes, I know we have this underlying pervasive what's going on with commercial real estate, and there's all these narratives that are still there, but at the end of the day, that's still there as well, right? There's not, and you and I racked our brain on that live stream, like, well, what is it? What could be something that's you know what I mean? I mean, there's not this really, oh my God, we're all waiting for this bad thing, or is that thing going to happen?
Whereas a year ago, that's exactly what we were doing.
What we were all doing.
We were just sitting, okay, what else can go wrong, right?
Yeah,
I mean, everything is
Gemini and all
when it rains, it pours. I mean, you're right. I mean, the feeling now is like we have more positive catalyst. Knock on wood, everybody out there. I don't know how many couple hundred people we have, but like, comment, subscribe down there, and knock on wood, because I don't see a lot of negative catalysts like out there right now. I don't see a lot of negative sentiment right now, which is good. And we've got a lot of potential with some positive things unfolding, whether it be with Ripple, the Bitcoin ETF, the crypto exchange, and all of that.
Yeah. So I'm going to throw up, Liam asked the leading question here. So Liam, thanks. I'll shoot you $1 because you're leading the this is a good planted comment. I'm kidding. I don't know, Liam. So basically, this is a good way to start, right? We all know Shibarium's coming, and the $1 million, the $1 trillion question, if you will, is burns. Are we really going to see 1 trillion, 5 trillion burns in a given month with that? And so there's your question. So Zach, I mean, what's your 2 cents on the reality of Shibarium burning, let's just say 50 trillion tokens in its first full year of production operation? Is that feasible? You think that's something? What's your 2 cents?
I mean, you guys aren't going to like the answer. I don't know. We have to see it.
You're being honest.
I don't know. I mean, the potential's there. It's been written about. It's been talked about. We've covered it because it's been written about and talked about. But I don't know. I mean, we need to see. Simply put, how much are people going to use it? We know that they've been stress testing the network. I was covering that yesterday. Just how many transactions have went through, how many wallets have. I mean, it's ready to go. They're ready. They're ready to handle the demand. But how much demand will be there? Of course, it'll fluctuate, especially when we get into a bull run. It'll be different. But a lot of it comes back to people within the SHIB community. We, as a collective community, 1.2 million holders, right? Something in maybe 1.3 million now. We have to use it. So we have a lot of control here in how much we burn through that mechanism. I've said this before too. I think every project that builds on top of Shibarium should have a burn mechanism. I think that should be something they should set in place. I know a lot of them do. They do it on their own. I think it should be something they require. I think that would help.
But if you launch on Shibarium, you should have something in your contract. Contract. Above and beyond the transactional burn that's coming natively on from the Shibarium side.
Right now, it's looked at as like a nice gesture if you do it.
Yeah,
make it that you have to do it.
Yeah, I think you raise a valid point, and I'm kind of glad you kind of put that foot forward. Here's what I think. I always tend to be kind of this. Well, there's a couple of factors. I think number one, we look at leash real quick. It's down 5. We had a significant drop yesterday before I kind of went from 413. Actually not yesterday, excuse me, 4:50 a.m. Dallas time is when it dropped from 412 down to 390. So it's sub 400. And real quickly, let's look at Bone, because obviously we all know that Bone, we were getting asked questions earlier. Is Bone a great investment? You and I are on record as saying, again, not investing advice. I think Bone's one of the safest, best out there. And even, and somebody was asking, should I buy it at this price? Yeah. I mean, I have bought some, I think at $1.04-ish. Maybe $1.15 or something like that. So here's kind of my 2 cents on what you were saying. I think that you have to look at reality of how this thing's going to be deployed. If we launch mid-August, let's just say that happens. It's not like 5 trillion transactions show up within a week. It's just not how it works. You have to scale up you have to launch it. You have to scale it. You have to get Shibarium up and running. With our internal transactions, our internal processes, you have to get Shiba Swap ported over to or launched on it. All of that takes time. So it's not like, I think people are like, okay, it's here today. We burn 1 trillion tokens today. That's
Right.
not how it works, folks. Okay. This is very complex technology, and it's going to take time for that to transpire. So I'm really looking at it more like, okay, what are we going to burn in 24? Right. So I'm going to give us 4, yes, we'll have burns leading up to that. We'll get insight maybe into what that run rate looks like. But let's really talk about this in the context of 24. What's the total amount of burn that we're going to burn in 24? And I think, I always like to hedge my bets. 20, 30 trillion to me is probably not a crazy number in that first year. I think that's a very feasible number if everything we've been told is in fact true. And I agree with your statement. I wish they would say something like that, and maybe they heard it here first. If you are a project and you launch on Shibarium, then you're part of your contract on Shibarium needs to be you burn above and beyond the transactional burn. That would be awesome.
I think that would help. I mean, because that right there, I mean, just gives you another, I look at it as like another guaranteed way to burn. I mean, the transactional piece guaranteed, right? I mean, if we transact, burns. If you build on top of Shibarium, burns. Straight up. I mean, I think that would be great. And that goes for companies too. It doesn't have to be just crypto projects, right? Because you can have in real life businesses having a metaverse component, maybe, right? Think about that. Everything within the metaverse that you build within there, they have a built-in burn mechanism. These sort of things I think should be built in 100%. I mean, again, we're not running the project. We're just giving our thoughts and our ideas.
Yep.
But yeah, I think it would be great. And then, you know what? I mean, community burns will pick up. If you remember, Austin, back in 2021, just the people who wanted to, as people are making a ton of money as Shiba Inu is going up, they're more generous, right? I mean, just the community burns in general were a lot.
You're in a bull run, people are generous. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And everybody readily agrees that we will be running into a bull run with Bitcoin halving and all that, and Bitcoin ETFs coming out left and right. Go ahead.
Speaking of that, so I know everybody out there wants to hear from you too. 2025, right? Let's just say 2025. We start to enter 2025, and we're kind of in the heat of the bull run. What's the price of Shiba Inu as we close out, next year, 2024? Say we start to gear up this year, and Bitcoin is over $100,000 late 2024 as we roll into
2025. I feel like you're setting me up. I can see the screen you want to show. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't. Hopefully you can't read what I've got over there. I don't.
Yeah, I mean, I can see. I know the website you're on, and I'm like, no, you're right.
You can go there too and run your.
But I'm doing this shit live, man. The funny, we had an all-time high of like $40 billion market cap. That was in October of 21, right? And our all-time high was 408.
88.
Yeah. And that was a $40 billion market cap. Are my facts correct?
40 billion plus. I think we were actually close to 50. Yeah.
Ballpark. And right now we're at a $4 billion market cap. So I'll hedge my bets. I mean, I think that not knowing what your number you're going to show me is that I think I'll hedge my bets in this context. I think that it doesn't happen in a vacuum, blah, 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 blah. Shiba Inu doesn't rise by itself. Bitcoin's got to go to 60, 70, 80, whatever that number is, which on all indicators is that BTC. And again, we talk about Bitcoin because it's, 50% of the whatever, it's 49.9% of the overall crypto market capitalization. I think we can at least get back to the all-time high if everything's firing on all cylinders. If we don't have any bullshit from the SEC about, all these different, assets. The ETFs have come out. We got institutional money flowing in, Bitcoin halving. We got all that kind of stuff. I think at the minimum, SHIB could get back to its all-time high, but it's lifting in the context of a broader market, massive move up. So you're talking about all of the crypto market capitalization would have to go to north of 3 trillion. And like I'm saying, I'm talking about again, and I know you and I beat this number into the ground, that number. the entire crypto market capitalization has to go north of 3 trillion, because Shiba Inu going to 40 billion happened inside of that $3 trillion entire crypto market. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It happened inside of that number. So if we can get crypto to go back up to 2, 3 plus, and Bitcoin runs, now, am I saying that I think that SHIB can get to that by the end of 24? That would be, to me, the biggest, the best possible scenario.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I'll cut that in half. If SHIB could get to a $20 billion market capitalization in the context inside of a larger market, that would be awesome. So that's my answer. And I completely pulled that out of left field because I hadn't really thought about it in that context. What's your 2 cents? And now you want to show your screen?
I mean, yeah, we can play with some of the numbers here. I mean, this is the Coin Perspective. Great website, guys, for everybody out there too. This is just, it's really cool when you're starting to kind of see, okay, I've got this in my portfolio. You know, this is, let me say if it 10Xs or whatever, you can start to really play with the numbers. So this is a 10X from current prices right now. It's actually just shy of our all-time high.
Of the, and that's a 45, but yeah, and that's a 45 billion. Yeah, what I just said. Exactly.
Yeah. Yep. So this would, if this were to, you know, we'll just call this base, we're 10X away, 11X away from an all-time high, right? So let's just say we 10X from the previous all-time high, right? From the
you mean up from there?
Yeah. So let's click 20X from here, right?
Yeah.
That would be a 19X from here, a $90 billion market cap, right? I can make that a little bit bigger too. There we go. $90 billion market cap. One SHIB would be worth 3015, right? So that's about double from the 4088 level, our all-time high. It's an upside of about 19X. So you can, you know, set your price target here. You know, a lot of people say 0.01. I mean, let's just do 0.001, right? That's not even a penny. We're 130X away from that. Talking about a $590 billion market cap. That's massive, right? But you can start to really play around with the numbers. I mean, a lot of this, I think, you know, with Shiba Inu, it's very unique because of the supply and the potential to burn a lot of that, because you can actually come over here and edit the circulating supply.
Oh yeah, I've actually never used it in that context. Yeah.
Yeah. So you come over here and start getting crazy and say, okay, well, 589 trillion SHIB. Well, let's back that down and say 500 trillion.
Right.
Well, now all of a sudden it's a little bit easier to get there. Right.
Sure.
Because the supply is lower. So you can actually, I mean, you could play around with this a lot, but there's a lot of outliers with the burns. I mean, because that can throw price predictions completely out the window. Right.
Well, that's to your point. Nobody knows those numbers. That's why I think our leadoff discussion point was Shibarium. What's the reality of what it can burn?
Exactly.
And we're all guessing. Let's call it what it is. We're all guessing until we start to get some clarity into that. Right.
Yep. And the potential there obviously is huge. If we do burn trillions of tokens, I mean, it changes everything. You know, but I want to go back to something you said too, real quick, Austin, like with the SEC related stuff and cryptos being labeled as securities and what have you. You know, interestingly enough, Shiba Inu was not in that conversation. They were not one of those top 20 cryptos that were listed. You know who else wasn't? Dogecoin and Bitcoin. Why? Well, it's completely decentralized. Yeah. There's no one person. Now, again, you know, I don't think like Cardano, for example, who has Charles Hoskinson and it is more centralized. I don't think, you know, they're done or whatever. I'm just telling you the context.
They're not done with their, you know, the plan to be decentralized. But yeah,
they're actively working it. I mean, the thing with SHIB though is they came out fully decentralized. They didn't have an initial coin offering.
Right.
It was completely decentralized. Dogecoin, very similar. So I think in that context, that's another feather in the cap, if you will. That's another bullish piece for SHIB here, working against some of the negative catalysts that we have out there.
I thank you for bringing that up as a point of clarification. But you and I always have to bring the negative catalyst back to the macro level, right?
Right.
Because that's ultimately what it comes back to for us, is that everything you just said about Dogecoin, SHIB, and Bitcoin is true. But people don't think about it that way. And I'm talking about people, right? And the SEC just sued this part, you know, their body, you know, this, you know, they just sued crypto.com. I'm just making that up, right? But then everybody runs around with their hair on fire going, oh my God, the sky is falling, right?
For sure.
It's like, okay, you know, and again, it's the environment we live in. if you wanted me to say what's the biggest hindrance that we have out there, it's that X factor of what will or will not happen at the macro level with the SEC and all this other stuff. That's it. That to me, that's it. Because we know that traditional finance is coming. It's just a matter of when. We know that BlackRock and JP and Fidelity, they want in because of money. They want in because they want the trend. They want to make money. Period. Okay, cool. That's easy. It's when we have to take, Zach, we have to take regulatory uncertainty out of the equation. When that happens, we're off and running. I mean, massive.
Yep.
You know, and I think we'll grow along the way, but when regulatory uncertainty is gone, there you go.
So with all that said, great stuff. With all that said, how are you as an investor? And again, not financial advice, guys. We're just talking heads on YouTube. How are you as an investor kind of going about building a crypto portfolio in this environment? Right? Given what we know, given the potential downside or negative things that can happen, but also given the potential upside and all of the positive momentum that we've built up here, how are you navigating that from a portfolio structure standpoint?
It's the same exact structure that you and I have talked about a million times. It doesn't change it for me. For me, it's like, okay, I pick my battles. I buy XRP at 75. Actually, I bought $3,000 worth at 83 cents. I'm not worried about that because I know long term it's like I'm going to make a lot of money off of that. But my point to you is that I still think whatever amount of money you're investing, you still buy the blue chips, you still buy Bitcoin, you still buy Ethereum, you still buy Cardano, XRP, etc. SHIB, Doge if they're of your liking, etc. And then you just hold and you wait and you just because again, Zach, just to put a fine point, it comes down for me to that number right there. To be as vanilla and simple as possible. Is that number going to get bigger? Is the entire crypto market going to go up in valuation? And I think we can all readily agree, looking at ourselves in a room going, yeah, okay, then buy today, buy now, buy, hold, and don't look at it and then here's the final part. And then I'll throw it back to you. And then don't sweat the small stuff. And the small stuff is going to be all of the crap, all of the road bumps, all of the shit, all of the stuff we hear, this, the that, the SEC may do this, it's just, you have to put blinders on and go, all right, that 5 or 10,000 or 100 or 20,000 I bought over there and I bought all of those core assets. I'm not going to worry about it. And I know it's going to be a rocky ride proverbially, but I'm okay. That's how I look at it. What's your 2 cents?
So within that, I want to ask you another question. And then, so obviously you've got these assets over here, like you're trying to buy at good prices, hold them long term. But what's like the difference between that and like, are you trading in this environment right now?
I think you can.
Do you parse that out? Are you saying, hey, this is something I'm trying to 3 to 4x, take that profit, pile it back into Bitcoin, pile it back into Ethereum, pile it back into XRP or SHIB or one of your top plays? Right.
I'm not doing that enough. I should be doing that more. I mean, cards on the table, right? I think, sure, the answer is, like right now, you could look at XRP as an example to buy XRP today at like 74, 75 cents. And you can go, okay, I think XRP is a good month, maybe less swing trade. And that's without me doing any chart analysis, anything like that. I'm just saying, as an example, if you wanted to play that, because you go, okay, because it has the momentum behind it. It has the regulation, the lawsuit being settled. It has all the stuff coming out about banks leveraging their, the ODL and all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of momentum. So the minute that crypto goes back green, XRP will run and we'll get XRP over $1, right? So if you're looking at a swing trade where you want to pick up 10, 20, 30%, XRP is a great one. I think there's plenty of Bone. Well, again, you beat me to it, right? I mean, you and I both love Bone. I think buying Bone at $1.20-ish right now is a no-brainer.
Yep.
And I think Bone will easily go to $2 or so as we get. And here's my final thought. I think people, here's what really is interesting to me. Even you and I have said many, many times, buy Bone, buy Bone, buy Bone, buy Bone, right? Yep. And it's at $1, 90 cents, whatever, $1.20, doesn't matter. And they know Shibarium is coming, and they know that Bone is going to be the gas token, and they know that Shibarium is going to be this huge, but yet they don't do it. That's what's interesting to me. I realize there's risk, but it's extremely to my, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then they look around and like, and then the day Shibarium launches and Bone's pumping and it's at $2.50. They're like, oh, I got to go buy some Bone. You know, it's like
FOMO. Yeah.
You know, I mean,
it's
like,
so weird how that works, but
you know,
it just does. Yeah. I think Leash is another one. I think Leash is you know, and I think Boca brings up a really, really good point. Really good point. Do not fall into the trap of focusing on one coin.
Never.
Do not fall for this trap, because you put blinders on, you straight up miss out on opportunities. And here's the thing. I see it within the SHIB ecosystem all the time. You know, why are we talking about Bone and Leash? It's taking away from SHIB. No, it's not.
No, it's not.
It's two other opportunities. Number one, to make money. Is that why you're here? Do you guys want to make money?
Yeah.
I think so, right? Is that one of the reasons? Probably. Bone and Leash have made you money in the last month.
I got a little glare.
You had blinders on. What's that?
I got a little glare here. I'm not,
if you had blinders on, you missed it. You missed it, right? Yeah. If you didn't, you know, it's ego too. It's like, you know, no, I've staked my flag right here and I'm sticking to it, man.
Never understood that.
You got to be willing to adapt and change in this environment, in this market. I mean, you got to keep eyes wide open and take some chances, take calculated risks though, right?
There is no reason for tribalism, even tribalism in your own mind to own one asset. I'm going to say it. It's stupid.
Dumb.
It's stupid.
Dumb. Here's the thing. I've always said this. If you're going to be tribal about anything, be tribal about crypto, not one crypto. Be tribal about the fact that we're part of 5% of people who are actually in this crazy space.
Yeah, but right? but you know what I'm about to say. But even then, don't just be in crypto, which you and I are not, and we talk about all the time. You know, I mean, funny thing is that I am more tribal about crypto because I'm in it every day. I love it. I love crypto, and I don't look at my Amazon stock, my Tesla stock, and I literally don't look at that because to me it's like it's not something that I care about. I mean, I do, but I don't, right? You know what I mean? I mean, I genuinely am tribalism about crypto in general, but I have investments in other assets, in other asset classes. That's all I'm trying to say. So Adriano, thanks for the super chat. I know you did it. I know you did too. Another one. Well, I'll show it. Yeah, I think we just said it. It's worth buying more XRP. Yes, it's worth buying more Shiba Inu, but I think right now the better short-term bets, and people are going to be flaming me for this, that better short-term bets are Leash and Bone.
I agree.
SHIB. Why? Smaller market cap. You're going to get more move up.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and don't flame somebody like Bone's part of the damn ecosystem, people. It's a native coin token. 100%. So yeah, I think there's that. So Adriano, thanks again. Another one. Appreciate it. You can help me pay for my my bar tab today. I'm kidding. You know, okay. Could Ripple go to 40, 50 by the end of the year? Man, that's a pretty big leap. I mean, I don't know, Zach, you've got that website. Hey, Gary. Okay. So Zach, I'm going to put you. Okay. So
I can hop over to
XRP went to 40. So Adriano, I don't know about 40 or 50. He's going to run the math, right? I mean,
it's going to be crazy. It's a 52x from here.
Yeah, a market cap of 2 trillion by itself.
That's double the market cap right now of all of crypto.
No,
if that happens, we're going to be sitting real pretty.
We know some people that are going to be buying, you know, entire parcels of the Bahamas, you know, or whatever, right? I mean,
seriously,
there's some people that we know.
Oscar Ramos is in the chat too. What's up, Oscar?
Hey, Oscar. Yeah, I think I don't think 40 or 50, but I mean, you know, again, 2 or 3, well, more than 2 or 3. What's your opinion about
the all-time highs? Like 3 something. Yeah. I would love to get up there and press all-time highs. I mean, let's just put 350 in. Okay. I mean, $183 billion market cap. Where are we at now? Let's see. Let me pop back over here. Coin market cap. Bitcoin is on a little bit of a run here in the last hour. That's good to see. Market cap sitting at 40 billion right now.
Yeah.
So
that's not bad.
Okay. I mean, that's, you know, we could potentially do that. I mean, yeah, I mean, you know.
So I want to bring up Paul's comment. Thank you, Paul, for this. And I'm highlighting you. So I appreciate you
about
saying
a 5X. Sorry.
Yeah.
4 or 5X.
So I'll be like, I mean, my whole portfolio is profit. Been working and learning for 5 years. Started small and did everything you're saying. I have 10 positions in crypto. I also have physical metals and energy dividend. Fantastic.
Yep.
Love you, man. That's clap to that. So crypto started small, learned diversification, right?
Yep.
And even outside of crypto, you and I talk about, we own, I know you own mutual funds. I know you own ETFs, things of that nature. I mean, outside of crypto, right? And so this is what you do, So
and NAB, the comment right there below, you're right. I mean, this XRP market cap can run in a hurry with the banks.
Sure.
If they potentially, it could happen, right?
Yeah.
But banking on that, right? I don't
no,
pun intended. Banking on that, you can't, right? I mean, because it's really easy to fall into that trap, and then you go and then you go into that all-in mentality, right? You put all your net worth into Ripple and all your net worth into XRP. That's scary, man. That's a scary proposition. And if it works out, great.
People that have done that, but and it paid off, but
it's a scary proposition.
Wait, all that kind of stuff. Here's J-Lo saying something we have already. Zach, SEC can always appeal. I expect them to appeal it. I mean,
right.
if
but what ground do they stand on?
What
ground do they stand on, though?
Oh, just because we're the SEC and we're going to refile. I mean,
to me, the Hinman docs, I mean, it's going to make them very hard to come back and say, anything. I don't know. I mean, he's right, though. It's not out of the woods. There's certainly some things that can happen. And we've both, I think, been covering a little bit of that. I mean, but I want to go back to your macro point, Austin. Crypto is a vehicle to financial freedom. It's not the only one, right? And I think that's the biggest thing. And you have to realize there's so much risk with crypto. Obviously, there's so much upside. But, Austin, you know this better than me. You've been in the stock market game way longer than I have.
Yeah.
There's some nice comfort level there knowing that you got something over here getting your 8% that you don't have to worry about.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And then it makes taking risks a lot easier, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, I think I want to put a fine point on something you said. You said, and I'm quoting, there's a lot of risk in crypto, right? That's basically, and you and I talk about risk all the time. But here's the interesting thing about that. And I know you're going to agree with what I'm going to say, because it's a very vanilla statement. If you say there's a lot of risk in crypto, in my opinion, and I know you will agree with this, there is not a lot of risk in crypto if you simply go, I'm going to buy 10 or 20 or whatever that number is of the top blue chip guys, and I'm going to buy them today as an example, and I'm going to hold them, and I'm going to believe that and the value will go up over time. To me, there is no risk in that statement, in my opinion, right? So
I'll agree mostly with it. I'll say this, though. I'll say this. If you want to even become less risky than that, if you want to become even more, I guess, less risky, take this. Bitcoin and Ethereum together make up nearly 70% of the overall crypto
68.5 to be exact.
Okay. All right. So you want to get really simplified? Make 68.5% of your portfolio Bitcoin and Ethereum.
Agreed. You have your crypto portfolio. How many
people actually do that, though?
No, not hardly anybody.
It's hard to sit there and hold
for years.
It's hard to sit there and hold Ethereum when it's barely moving, and you see this next
boring as shit.
Altcoin.
It's boring as shit.
Right. You see Pepe 2 over here flying off the freaking handle. You're like, I'm just holding my Ethereum. What the hell, man? This ain't doing
I'm missing out. Oh my God.
Right? But you'll get burned if you chase every single ERC20 token. You have to be really strict with the money you take and put it in a pile over here and say, hey, these are my scratch off tickets, right? These are my slot machine plays. And it's hard to just keep money in Bitcoin and Ethereum and not touch. It's hard.
Yeah. Okay. So let's dive into that. Full disclosure. And you and I talk about this in videos, right? You and I do that. Meaning we have our core assets. We own Bitcoin. We own, all that. We do that. Okay.
We talk about a portion of money pretty much every month that we're gonna degen with. We talk about meme coins. We love them.
Right.
But we don't put put as much that we can't afford to lose. We're just not.
Yeah.
And every month changes.
Okay. So yes, right. We do that. And we have, if you look at the 20 or 30 degen plays that you and I have collectively done, whatever, in the last 2 or 3 months plus, The numbers are very interesting. And I don't have the exact, I don't have like an Excel or anything, but like I could tell you that there's really been 2 that we got in early. And by the way, when we did those, we did like $300 or $400 in each of those respective 20 or 30 plays, right? And you and I won big on Bob, and we won big on Pepe, and far outweighed what we put in, and we are in the positive. But the other 20 plus, we might have broken even on some of them and
lost our ass.
10 or 12 of them were rug pulls. And we bought in at this and went down to this and there. But because I'm bringing that back to your lottery ticket analogy, because but I think part of the key is that we spread it apart, with 20 or 30 of those different DGen plays as an example, and 100%. we did well on 2, maybe 3.
Exactly. I mean, I think one of the mistakes people make is they look at, this next crypto and they don't look at it any differently than like a Bitcoin and Ethereum. They're just like, well, I missed Bitcoin and Ethereum, so I'm going to just go all in on this one. And this is going to be the one.
It's 5 minutes old. And
it's just,
don't do it.
Don't do it. I mean,
it's fun. And if you can afford to lose it, and it's playing the lottery, it's little, 100%. Or going to Vegas and putting it all on black and at the roulette table.
And when you do hit, take your damn profits.
Yeah.
Put it into something like that. Put it into the stock market. Put it into Ethereum. Take your damn profits. And, as we always say, have a plan before you get in. And it gets crazy. I mean, sometimes the plan gets thrown out of the window when you're up 40x, 50x, like on Bob or something like that.
Yeah.
But you got to have that little voice over here saying, take some damn profits, you dummy. I mean, this thing's not going to go up forever, right?
Take some profits. The little guy sitting on your shoulder.
Because the other guy's saying it's going to keep going up.
It's going to go up ever. You're going to be rich.
Yeah. Why is H-bar pumping? I don't know. I like H-bar.
Let's see.
Can I get into the in a minute, can I get into a couple altcoins that we should watch?
No, but yes. Hold on. Let's see. Is the market turning green? No, we're still down 0.8%. H-bar is, there it is. Yeah, it's up 2.6.
Okay.
I mean, you've got, but I mean, pumping, I wouldn't say is the right word, right? I mean, BitDAO is up 7%. These are out of the top 100. That's your leader. Chainlink, 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 XRP. Yeah. So here, there you go. Go for it.
So this is why Chainlink's up. Chainlink just announced today they're opening access to cross-chain interoperability. So what does this mean in layman's terms? Interoperability is the ability for one blockchain to interact with another blockchain or company to interact with multiple blockchains. So in this same vein here, this is pretty big for Chainlink. By the way, Chainlink been around forever. One of those cryptos that often gets overlooked. Keep in mind, their price right now, what is it? Sitting under 7, I think. Yeah. This thing went to like $55 in the previous bull run. This thing should be $100, I think, in the next cycle. I mean, not financial advice, just saying. All right. So if we take a look here, so this is their announcement right here. They've launched their cross-chain interoperability protocol, which allows them to basically work with financial institutions. So some of the institutions exploring Chainlink's interoperability solution, BNY Mellon, Citi, you've got Australia and New Zealand Banking Group, Clearstream, some big companies. So we talk about like these enterprise plays, and this sector is really coming, I think, in this next bull cycle, and it's coming in from banking and the big institutions and companies. A lot of these big cryptos are trying to bridge that gap right now. So keep your eyes peeled on things like this, news pieces like this. We know that Polygon has done that in the last year and a half. Now we know that Chainlink is actively doing that. That's what Grape, a company we're both talking about, that's what they're trying to do. Links down below in the description if you want to check them out. So this was a big news piece. That's why Chainlink's up, one of the leaders here this morning.
I want to bring something. I want to say something. I want to get this off my brain because, again, going back to earlier when we were talking about like buy bone now because it's going to go to 2, right? So I want to bring that to what you just showed. You just showed that, Chainlink's all-time high. What'd you say was north of $50 right now? Give or say, and it's say $6 right now.
I'll give you the article.
Yeah, an article talking about the fact that all these banks and et cetera are going to start leveraging their technology, right?
$52.88. $52.88.
$52. So this is what's so interesting to me about crypto is that is that a very simple basis for a good investment. Go buy some Chainlink. Not investing advice. Go buy some Chainlink because, and again, is it going to go up 30% tomorrow? No.
It's going to be relatively boring as it relates to crypto. That's the problem. That's why people don't invest in it. It's boring.
It's boring.
What is Bitcoin? It's boring.
It's not Pepe 4.0, right? It's not.
It's not.
But
there's a place for that too. There
can be if you but that's what I think I really want to try to hammer home here is that you can buy the Pepe 4.0s and the Bob, 10.x, whatever.
Yeah.
That's fine. But put $100 into it. It's a lottery ticket. But if you really want to be smart, go buy some freaking Chainlink, go buy some freaking HBAR, go buy some and sit on the stuff because these guys are already solving real world, business problems, business solutions, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Cardano. I mean, that's what I think most people miss the train, Zach, on in crypto is they're all looking for the next Pepe 5.0 version 5.
Agreed.
That's the issue is that most people are.
Yep. Mr. Buy the Dip nailed it. Chainlink is a blue chip and the blue chips are boring. They are. They're just boring. And we see it even in the seat we sit in, Austin, all the time. If I make a Chainlink video today,
nobody watches it.
Nobody watches it. Nobody cares.
I know.
But if I make a Pepe 69.0 420-678.7 video,
which is why we make those videos because people watch them.
So, but I think one thing that we always say is, listen, we're going to cover the overall crypto market. We're going to cover what gets traffic, obviously, but we're also going to be real with you and say, hey, Pepe 69.420 is not the same as Chainlink here, guys.
No, it's not.
Right?
Come on.
So yeah,
it's not.
AB Combs love that.
It just cracks me up. But
yeah, I mean, there's another altcoin too. If you want to look at another blue chip. So there's another altcoin right now.
Oh yeah, another boring one.
Another super boring crypto. Guys, don't leave. We're going to get into Pepe.784.90-ABCX here in just a minute too.
Hopefully everybody, AB's out there laughing. Hope people are out there laughing because drop in the chat, drop in the comments. I mean, are we nailing this? Do you guys agree? Do y'all agree with what we're saying? I mean, we're spitting some gold here. Go ahead, Zach.
Yeah, and so Litecoin, they're getting ready for their halving. Bitcoin halving, of course, is big. Obviously, it's covered more than anything. That's coming next year. But a lot of people don't know this. Litecoin halvings have sparked the last two bull runs.
Yep.
Litecoin halvings have sparked the last two bull runs.
Hey, Aaron's in the house. Aaron, go sell a car. He's laughing.
What's up, Luckside?
Go sell a truck.
So Litecoin hitting historic milestones as having nears. Guys, they are weeks away, 16 days to go. And Litecoin just crossed over. They just set their yearly all-time high. Let me bounce over here and show you. And now they're dialing back. This might be one to look at. Not financial advice. Big dial back here, but look at this. In the last year, what's the highest they've been? Just happened earlier this month. Okay, they ran up to $113. They're sitting at 91 right now. Okay. And this right here, the halving schedule for August 2nd will be the third in Litecoin's history. First two happening in 2019, 2015. The halving has generated a lot of buzz and excitement. And again, go look at these halvings. They've sparked some bull runs. And data from on-chain analytics for Into the Block also showed that search trends for Litecoin is hitting a new yearly peak. According to Into the Block, upcoming halving is one of the major drivers for the heightened interest around the network. They hit a historic milestone recently, 170 million transactions. Now, listen, Litecoin might be boring in our circles. They might be boring because it's not Pepe.87.7, okay? But in the institutional realm, the big, deep pockets, they're investing in Litecoin, okay? Because there's no way in hell you can have $492 million of volume in the last 24 hours if people don't give a shit. They do.
I love it.
They're in it and they're investing in it. And by the way, keep in mind the new crypto exchange that's launching, the EDX exchange, they're coming out with 4 cryptos. What are they? Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash. Those are probably the safest bets right now in all of crypto, in my opinion. Just saying.
Take a bow.
Yeah. That's all I got.
That's all I got. I'm done. I'm out.
I need some coffee after that.
Drop the mic, walk off the stage. I'm out.
Yeah. Josh says it's a steal. Yeah. I mean,
it is. And guess what? Nobody's going to go buy Litecoin. They're going to wait for Pepe 80 million.
That just fell on deaf ears.
So. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Oh, well, we heard, what's the old teaching analogy? If I just touch one person, if I help them with their life, that's how I look at some of this.
Yeah.
It's just
that is true though, man. That is the truth.
Sometimes you feel like a broken record, dude, but
I always said I felt like a preacher more than a teacher.
Yeah. Come on.
Yeah. Get your shit together. I'm trying to teach things. They're just like, dude, just don't be a jackass. That's what I should teach.
You'd be the guy in Times Square in New York standing up on his soapbox. Buy Litecoin. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. So here we go.
Speaking of these, I got a question for you. Speaking of these, what do you want to call it? Blue chips? What are some that we haven't mentioned that you like that maybe get often overlooked?
I think it's the usual suspects for me. Let me go back to the, just the resort here. I'm going to put the obvious ones aside, Bitcoin, Ethereum. XRP, obviously, and hey, cards on the table. I should have bought XRP when it was 30 cents. And I'm going to call myself out on it, right? I didn't buy it when it's 30, 40 cents. And when I should have, I didn't, I have had some, I've bought and sold it, but I didn't, so you're not, we also are sometimes the victims of our own. We don't always do what we say, right? Do what I say, or whatever that analogy is. Cardano, Solana. I think Solana is not necessarily overlooked, but for me, Polygon's a big one that gets overlooked. I think Polygon, Litecoin, I would have screamed Litecoin, but we've talked about it in mass. I think it's Polkadot. Here's the thing, Zach. My answer is all of them. My answer is but damn near anything in the top 20.
Mm-hmm.
It's like throwing a dart at the dartboard, and you're going to hit a bullseye if you just go into it with the right mentality. That's how I look at it.
I like it, man. Yeah.
It doesn't have to be hard.
I agree. I agree. And I think, well, let me ask you this. So, okay. So I think a lot of people struggle with this. So there's so many things we like.
XLM's
another one. Yeah. There's so many things that we can go after here. So I guess let me pose a question. What's a better strategy then? All right, say I have 10,000.
Okay.
$10,000.
Yep.
Should I pick 10 and put 1,000 in? Or should I put 5 and put 2,000 in? I think a lot of people face that, and I face that all the time.
I would say
or should you not even try to do that? Should you say, hey, I like this one a little bit more. I'm going to put 3 in this one. I'm going to put 2 in this one. I'm going to put 1 and 500 in one. How do you start going about that?
Well, I think if you had 10,000 and if you were just getting into it, I would take 70% of it and evenly split it between Bitcoin and Ethereum. So there's 7 right there. Yeah. And as an example, if you're trying to be extremely conservative, I'm just going to go with the heavies. I'm just going to lock it up. There you go. 70%. Austin, should I do more Bitcoin? No, again, make it simple. Split it down the middle if you wanted to, right? But then that leaves you 30%. I would take another 20% of that. So now I have what, $2,000? Yeah. So I have $3,000 left. I would say 2,000 of it, I would split it between, say, again, 4 or 5 of the big guys. XRP, Cardano, Litecoin, or whatever. And here's the thing, Zach. Pick any 5. It really doesn't matter. Shiba Inu, if that is one that picks your type of, I want to own a community token, right?
Yep.
And then the last 1,000, you can either go to the kind of the next level, like let's say stuff that's outside of the top 25 in all of crypto market capitalization right now, something like that. Say, okay, I'm going to take the 1,000 and I'm going to go buy some that are kind of outliers, but yet they're still in the top 100. Or B, if you're like, hey, I want to take this 1,000 and I may want to go do some lottery plays. Maybe I'll go put $100. And I'm only saying that because a big part of investing comes down to where you're at in your life, right? It comes down to your risk assessment, your risk threshold. What are you willing to risk or not? And what, and how much time do you have? I'm 54 years old. You're early mid 30s. I may be a little bit less risk, more risk averse. And so I may not want to take that 1,000 and go put it on some lottery plays, Pepe 45X, whatever version of 45.
Yeah. What are your goals overall too?
Yeah. What are your goals? Yeah. That's what do you, and how, what's your investment timeline? Yep. What's your horizon for this? You got 5 years, 10 years, 20 years.
Yep. I agree. You killed it. Crushed it. I agree 100%. These are all things that we should be considering. Boca said it's interesting. XLM is mirroring XRP. We saw that during that blow off top. I need some more, I think.
That's crazy.
Somebody else put a great comment in there. I think it was Combs. AB Combs said $5 a day into your top 10. That's a great dollar cost average strategy. Instead of buying that morning coffee, instead of buying your Starbucks, make some coffee at home and put $5 to $10 in it. I mean, here or there. I mean, just DCA, and that's a great way to freedom too, man. It's like, because I think a lot of times people try to wrap their head around like, I don't have $1,000 to spend right now, but you might have $5, you might have $10, you might have 20, and that adds up over time. I mean, it really does.
I think the majority of people, and here's the thing, I was guilty of this in my 20s. I remember this. I remember feeling this way. I remember going, why am I putting money into 401k? Literally. I'm like, because for me, 30 years down the road was not, it just was, it didn't compute. Right. And I didn't grow up in a very financially astute family. My mom and my dad are fine now and they're good, but I didn't get taught investing back then. So when I was in my 20s, I was out there trying to pick stocks that were going to be like, I was buying like over the counter stuff, OTC stuff, blue, pink sheet, and, trying to get rich and off of one pick, and quickly learned that was not the way to do it and started investing, things of that nature. My point is this: people don't have the majority of people out there don't look at investing crypto stocks. I don't care. They look at it like, how can I get rich by the end of, by tomorrow, next week, or the end of the month? They don't look at it like, if I just did this $10,000 analogy and bought Bitcoin and Ethereum and then let it sit, that's going to 100x or whatever that number is in 10 years. They don't see that. They don't look at it that way. And that's, to me, the biggest problem with the majority of people, not just in crypto, but investing in general.
That's a really good point. Haley Brown, I want to answer her question. Can I ask what your goals are for SHIB? Yeah, her last one up there. So, and I think I'll say this, guys, and I do this for a lot of cryptos. I think Austin does this as well. You can jump in, Austin, too, because I'm pretty sure we've talked about this kind of stuff. So this doesn't just go for SHIB. I have three, a lot of times I have like multiple plans for whatever I'm in. Sometimes this bag over here is a short-term plan, like for Bone, for example. I have a portion of Bone that I bought earlier back at 60 cents. That's my long-term bag. So wherever I buy it, like at the cheapest price point, usually I have a more longer time horizon.
Oh, that's good.
If I'm buying it at a later point,
say that again. I'm sorry, I'm interrupting you. Say that again.
So again, with Bone, early on, I bought some at like 50 cents, 60 cents, something like that.
Cost basis.
My cost basis. So for that bag, I'm looking at like a $5, $6 price target. I'm okay waiting, right? Because I got in at a really cheap price. And that's going to multiply over time. So I want to have a longer time horizon on that. Versus the Bone that I just bought recently when me and Austin kind of came together. We were actually talking about it on YouTube. Hey, guys, Bone's kind of gearing up. I think it was around 85 cents, 90 cents. That's where I picked some up. I put, some money into it right there. Now, my goal with that 85 to 90 cent Bone, and again, same thing could be done here for SHIB, Polygon, doesn't matter. Where I bought that 85, 90% or 90 cent Bone, I'm looking to maybe double it or triple it. Just a 2 or 3x short-term swing trade, knowing that I still have this bag over here that I got at a cheaper price. That's my long-term hold bag that if Bone does go parabolic, I've got my moon bag, if you will, over here, right? So I can make some money in the short-term trading, all while, if that's happening, I'm still making money on the back end with my large bag that I've got at a cheaper price point.
Okay, follow-up question. Yeah. So the follow-up question is, let's say, and I'm not going to ask you to divulge the exact numbers. Let's say that you had put 10,000 just because it's easy math, right? Say you had 10,000 in those 3 different bags. Are you having the majority in that first bag that was 60 cent cost basis. I'm trying to get to, is there percentages that you do? Like I had 30% in that bag, I have 30% in this bag, or what's the percentages?
I think it just depends. I don't really have a science down to that. You probably could. I think it just depends on whatever I put in at that time, right?
Okay.
So, and what I have capitalized at that time to put in. So I don't have a great idea with that. But like SHIB, for example, I bought some recently when it dialed back into the 505. That's where my long-term bag is. So I bought it in that one because that it came below my cost basis in that. So that's the other thing I'll do. If it comes down to a cost basis that's like fits this bag over here, that I don't have to increase the cost basis, I'll put it in that long-term bag rather than the midterm, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no,
yeah.
But it comes back to cost basis. And so you're trying to, your lowest cost basis stuff, however that investment plays out, your lowest cost bag stuff is your, what people call your moon bag or whatever that is, but it's your, I'm going to hold that one. Yeah.
Yep. Longer time frame. Yeah. So
spitting gold, man.
I mean, and listen, guys, it's not like we have it, dialed in. And it's like, this is the only way to do it. So like, there's a bunch of people who do it a little bit differently out there. Like you got to find what's best for you. Maybe take a piece of what Austin said, utilize that. Maybe take a piece of what I said and say, okay, yeah, I kind of like that in terms of where I'm at in my journey, where I'm at in my life or whatever, right? Take little bits and pieces and form your own kind of strategy,
Yeah, I just hope that people walk away with the idea of this. Buy some of the boring stuff, Litecoin, Chainlink, and just hold it, period. Because it's gonna go up because there's massive utility. And if you want to go buy Bob 40, version 40, fine. I'm not slamming Bob. I'm not slamming Pepe. I'm not slamming degen coins. And that's not what this is. I think there's a place for them if you want to be involved in those type of cryptos. And Zach and I bought those. We have, right? Yeah. But just have a freaking plan.
100%. Yeah. And just know that what you're buying, know what you're buying, know what you're holding, know what you're buying, know what you're holding, and know like that every crypto is not created equal.
No.
Right.
And don't go all in and don't go all in on anything. In my opinion, don't go all in on Litecoin. Don't go all in on SHIB. Don't go all in, it's just don't. And don't, please God, don't go all in on a degen coin that launched 5 minutes ago. Please don't do that. Anyway.
Yep. 100%. And,
okay, so hey, real quick, let's take a word from our sponsor here, real quick. So, hey guys, Zach and I've been talking about it. Links in the description below. If you're watching on my channel or Zach's channel, this is great. They are an amazing sponsor. They're building a layer one and an enterprise layer one. 700,000 transactions per second is what they're targeting. They're going after metaverse, gaming, all this first. They are sponsoring this live stream, but there's a sign up link in the description below. You can get up to 70% bonus token. So if you put 1,000 in, you're going to get like $700 worth of their governance token, additional, grape tokens. And I guess really, so links in the description below, so check them out. But I guess I want to bring this back, Zach, to something you said earlier, was that I think one of the biggest sectors out there is these layer one blockchains, these enterprise, because cards on the table, right? Ethereum, and I'm not bashing Ethereum. Ethereum wasn't built to be an enterprise scalable layer one business blockchain. It wasn't.
Right.
So
100%.
Go ahead.
Well, I mean, it's crazy how many of these layer ones enterprise blockchains, that are coming out just this year. Earlier this year, I've got one shared. Austin, if you want to show this one, they're actually performing a little well too, pretty well right now. That's Tenet.
Sorry, yeah, I had to string. Yep, there you go.
Yeah, so I mean, we got into this pre-sale, guys. This was a layer one, and they're still actively building. I mean, we got into this one at 2 cents. Our cost basis was 2 cents in the pre-sale, so there you can see it, 16 cents. Looking really well, looking really good. Grape's trying to do something similar here with bridging the gap between like the Web 2 and Web 3.
Yep.
And Corium's another one. There's a ton of new ones out there, but there's also ones like Chainlink. I mean, everybody's trying to get into this sector because they know all of these Web 2 companies need to be redesigned, need to be reimagined, need to be reevaluated for the blockchain. And it's coming. Like we didn't have that in the last cycle, right? We didn't have it, but now we've got some things under our belt. The market's growing. It's being taken more seriously. More and more companies are saying, okay,
we got to get in.
It's time. Yeah.
But these companies are saying we've got to get in with our businesses have to be involved. We've got to put portions of our business on the blockchain, things of that nature.
Yeah.
So I want to
the business of building private blockchains, which is essentially enterprise grade solutions, massive, right? JP Morgan Chase, they run on a private blockchain already.
Exactly.
Like they already do. All of these other companies, whether it's, CVS or Rite Aid or
they've got to be
you name it.
Enterprise,
right? They're gonna get in
blockchain. Okay, Rodney. Here's the thing. I love Rodney. I think Rodney's got a fantastic style. So, Josh, my question to you is, what did I say that Rodney's gonna love? I actually want you to come back and say what we're talking about. So, I hope Rodney's doing well. I haven't looked at his channel in a while. I hope he's doing good. So
he's got a brand new setup. It looks awesome.
His studios are awesome, man. I'm like, he's got the lighting and shit, and I'm having a new studio because we're redoing my house. I'm having a new studio built too. So Josh, thanks for commenting, brother. Drop in the comments below what I said that Rodney will love. I actually want to know that. So please come back to us and drop in. So, I guess, and here's the funny thing, Zach, I think that ultimately, I think that the enterprise blockchain is one of those big factors in the future, right? And I thought the Chainlink articles, when you talk about the Chainlink article, how about all those companies that are wanting to leverage the Chainlink tech, that's what it's about. And I think that, again, don't go all in on an enterprise layer one solution, but no, because here's how I look at it, right? I look at them like sectors. You've got these L1, these new L1s, these new enterprise L1s coming. You've got, gaming, you got, I'm talking about, I'm at a brain fart there, but look at
100%.
sectors,
AI or
AI. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. I was trying to see if he came back, Josh came back, but no. Okay. So guys, we're coming up on an hour and 15 minutes. I think we're going to call it here. Let's give Zach, you cool, like a 10-minute call here.
Yeah, 100%.
10-minute call.
Yeah. But I think
hold on. There you go. Boca, I like Rodney, but is the TMZ of crypto. That I think Rodney would agree. Rodney is the TMZ of crypto. That's pretty good.
He's good at it though. He's good at what he does.
Oh, Josh is talking about meme coins and that you don't knock them. I guess he's saying like don't talk bad about meme coins. Is that what he's talking about?
Yeah, I mean, I think Rodney kind of agrees with us. I mean, there's a place for all of this, right? Like, but just don't go saying like this meme coin is going to be the next Bitcoin or whatever. Yeah. I mean, I've heard him say similar things, and he's the same way. I mean, he talks about meme coins all the time. He understands what they are. It's an opportunity to make a bunch of money fast, get the hell out of there, and put it back into less risky investments, whether that's stocks or Bitcoin or Ethereum or what have you. Somebody was asking about Wall Street memes.
Yep.
That's a huge pre-sale going on right now. Austin and I are going to be making some more videos for that. Full disclosure, I'm not going all in there. I put a little bit in.
Sure.
I've got some skin in the game because it's interesting. They're raising a lot of money. But at the end of the day, we don't know what that's going to do. We don't know what's going to happen, right? Yeah. So you don't go all in. You just, if you like something.
I hope that everybody takes that away from this, is that I think that people get themselves in trouble when they have their blinders on and they go all in. Go ahead.
People get desperate, Austin. And when people get desperate, they make poor decisions. And we've all been there. And some people have just been there, more in life than others. But desperate times call for desperate measures. And that's when people make bad decisions, right? So try not to do that. Obviously, stick to your guns and I lost my train of thought, but there you go.
Amen, brother. Preach. Preach. All right, guys, 5-minute call. Drop in the questions. You got any last minute questions? We obviously can't answer all of them. We got 400 plus here total between my channel and Zach's channel. What is Boca? Meme coins are elevator chicken. Elevator chicken. You try to jump out before it smashes the ceiling and crashes.
That's a great analogy, actually. That's fucking perfect, actually.
It's like, what's elevator chicken? Is that something I don't know about? But yeah. And you're on the elevator. It's going up. Do I push the button? Do I push the button? Do I push the button? Do I push the button?
Look at AB Combs though. I mean, there's another way to make some money. I mean, he's looking at Bitcoin mining stocks.
You know,
yeah,
and mining stocks just got crushed, you know, back a little bit while ago, and now they're coming back, and you know, and all this kind of stuff. You know,
my buddy who's big in traditional finance, what's the BITO, the Bitcoin? It's not a big. Is it Bitcoin ETF or is it BITO?
I don't know.
Somebody tell me. I don't even. I always tell them, I'm like, just invest in Bitcoin. What are you doing in BITO? I think BITO's it's a
BITO. Is it a mining?
Yeah, stock? Bitcoin Strategy ETF, ProShares Bitcoin Strategy ETF. He's been trading this thing like crazy. I mean, there's your 6 months. So yeah, I mean, it fluctuates like crazy. Yeah, ProShares Bitcoin Strategy ETF. And I'm like, you know, that's cool. I mean, but that's what he knows. That's how he's able to make money, right? Like he understands that world. I don't as much, right? And he's like, yeah, I've been killing it with the, you know, Bitcoin Strategy ETF. I'm like, okay, sweet.
But you know, it's a valid point. I remember back in the late 90s, I made a ton of money off of trading Dell back in early 90s. I mean, late 90s. Why? Because I knew that chart. I mean, like the back of my hand, and I was buying the, you know, it was channeling, right? I just knew, and I was not a trader per se, but I had just gotten so adept at that, you know, and you trade what you know. I mean, that's a valid point, but again, have a very, very conservative baseline investing strategy. Like we've been, you know, just, you know.
Somebody asked about SERP. Yeah, they are a SHIB ecosystem play. They're up a little bit today too, up 14%.
Well, everything's been beaten down, right, Zach? Everything's been beaten down because of the overall market move down, you know.
Quick shout out. How about WAGME Games? Quick shout out to WAGME. I mean, look at this damn chart.
Woo!
Yeah, WAGME Games has absolutely exploded. Their NFTs are back up to just under 1 ETH floor price on those WAGME NFTs. Shout out to them. They've been building for multiple years now. I've had a chance to meet their team. Scott, obviously one of us, or was one of us, kind of still is one of us.
Yep.
Great guy. And obviously Ian, the leader there at the helm, had a great lunch with him in Miami. Just awesome people, and it's just great to see great people, you know, have success in the space, and I'm looking forward to kind of seeing and watching them grow even more. So shout out to them.
Good stuff, man. All right, Zach, we'll wrap it up, guys. So thanks for spending some time with us. Zach and I are going to work towards moving just at least a couple of these a week. I think I enjoy these live streams. I really, really do. So
let us know what you guys want more of too. Yeah. You know, let us know what you guys like and things like that.
I need a haircut, Zach. That's why I'm wearing a hat. I need a haircut.
Well, I don't have that problem.
Yeah, no, you don't. Yeah. Yeah. There it is. I got to get it straight. Okay, there we go. So, all right, guys, we'll see you. Have a good one. As I always say, go make some money. Peace.
See you guys.